Yo, what's up? This is Zach Farache, also known as Versace, and you're listening to the 1,000 Story podcast.
I'm sorry.
It's not funny.
It's just when I hear your voice like that,
It's not funny.
It's like you're a different person. Like, legitimately. Oh man. You got a James Earl Jonesy vibe in that one. No, just in that one, not in real life.
Well. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
What is up? Welcome to the 1,000 Story podcast. We are your hosts, Najee
And Luis.
and
Zach.
Zach's back too. This guy.
I'm also here.
Yo!
What's poppin', Zach? Round of applause for him
Round of
again.
applause.
He deserves it.
Yo, what's up? I'm
If you
back
remember
and
Zach-
better than ever.
Yeah, so we thought we'd bring him back just to be a guest host and kind of weigh in on some topics that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Or just, cover and just observe and get some opinions on.
We gotta say Zach, aka Versace.
Zach Farache, a.k.a. Versace. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. That was double.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
It
That
deserved
was
it.
so fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, just a reminder, Zach, we brought on for the first time in a previous episode when we described some of his story and his background. And if you want to go check that out, that is somewhere in the links below. Or, just go back in the list of the podcast and click on that episode. Anywho, so what are we talking about today, Louise?
All right. So today, the reason we brought Zach in is because he's a businessman's.
He is a businessman.
And being a musician these days, you got to be sort of a businessman's.
You do have to be sort of a businessman.
So, I don't know. We got a lot of different topics to run through today. My first question, though, I do want to start with this because I forgot to ask last time, and it's really important. So, not only are you a musical artist, right? And that's one facet of business that you're into. But I
guess
also
so.
know it was one of my favorite business ideas that I think I've ever heard of. But you're really into cleaning chairs.
Oh my God.
How did that come about?
You really like cleaning chairs, man. Yeah. Oh my God. Dude, that is never going to leave me. I swear to God. This is like a legacy. Okay, so I'll give a little bit of the backstory here. So I, on my Instagram, I posted some stories back in the summer because I was bored and my dad was like, Zach, we have to clean these chairs. And I was like, oh my God, I am not going to survive this. And basically I had to lather oil all over chairs, and then I had to dry them and stuff. And I had to put several coats. So I freaking was just dying, and I was like, I need my phone, I need entertainment. And then I just I'd film myself talking about these chairs, I just with such passion, and I went way too far, and people believed me. Oh yeah. That happened. Dude, that was fuck. That was kind of too much. That's when I knew that I messed up. But I posted way too many stories about me cleaning chairs and how I felt and my connection. It was like a part of my life that everybody knows. So
that's
professional chair cleaner. But it did. I mean, it kind of went viral. It kind of went with amongst your fan base. I feel like there was so many people talking about you in these chairs. It was kind of
edits. The people made visual edits of me in chairs and me in love with chairs, and people would message me, be like, so are you gonna quit music? Some people would be think I'm legitimately serious. Some people weren't even joking. They're like, "Are you serious when you said you weren't gonna do music and you're gonna do chairs?" I was like,
Oh man.
oh my god. But yeah, no, it definitely was a big thing between my followers. So
I feel like that sort of stuff kind of happens to you like quite a bit. Like I remember also the whole TikTok bullshit,
dude,
that happened.
Yeah.
Like where like your music was on TikTok, but it was uploaded by somebody else.
Yeah.
So you weren't even tagged in it at all. Like nobody even knew whose song it was, and it just was blowing up like on that app.
Well,
like,
dude, it happened again. It literally is happening right now. My song is
That's crazy.
viral. It's like literally viral on TikTok with all these videos, and I'm still not even credited. But luckily I can tell that people are like Shazamming that, because I looked at Spotify and my song, the streams are going like way up, and it hasn't even been playlisted. Like it's just naturally going up and I look at the playlist and it's just like songs from TikTok, like on like Spotify.
Wow.
Really good song for edit, like stuff like that.
That's crazy, and it's funny. So going back and revisiting here, we were actually going to be talking about metadata and how it kind of affects artists' business, like that whole thing. So that's why we wanted to pull you into the conversation. So for the people listening, basically, TikTok is this app. It's a mobile app that a bunch of preteens and teens have been taking storm. It's basically
it used to be Musically.
Yeah, it used to be Musically, formerly Musically, taken over. It was owned by a Chinese company who then changed it into TikTok. It was still owned by them, but they changed the name to TikTok, to kind of become the Vine 2.0.
Yeah.
But as a result, basically because they are owned outside of the States, not just outside of the States, but in Asia, they have a very different, I guess, copyright. It's not that it's legal. It's just that because they're so far detached from our system for copyright and our kind of musical metadata and logging in content ID systems, that they've pretty much just let people have free reign with the uploads that go onto their platforms.
See, that's the thing that I don't understand, though, because if it's something that was created in another country, shouldn't it fall under that jurisdiction?
The jurisdiction of
that country, right? Like, I mean...
Okay, yeah.
But I guess it's just a lot harder for that to happen. I'm not sure of all the specifics, but basically, with TikTok, for example, you're allowed to either choose from a pool of songs that are uploaded through regular distributors. Right. So, for example, if, Rihanna puts up a song that goes through Universal, and that distribution allows it to be recognized in, like, choose a song on your Instagram story feed. Facebook has taken that metadata and embedded it into the system because they own Instagram. Or like if it's on YouTube, Rihanna, like Universal flags any videos with Rihanna's song in it. That's because they've embedded it into their system, Content ID on the YouTube side. Yep. But on TikTok, that system isn't in place. So people can literally just upload
freaking Wild West.
Anything, literally any song that is pre-recorded or pre-owned, even though you can choose the same song from their servers, from the pool of selection that they have. You can still upload the same exact song and rename it and alter the metadata however you want.
God.
And as a result, so they're using other people's song and other people's content as their own, and then redirecting people in the titles. For example, it'll say like, go to or YouTube by this user, or like follow us at blah 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 blah.
What were they named at in your instance? Did you see that at all? Because I feel like
they were like freaking original audio by Alyssa.
By Alyssa.
It's like, bruh, you didn't do any of that audio, at all.
Like, it's really problematic though, because like the way that TikTok worked even further, like never mind just being able to upload your own content, but they kind of wanted to play on the virality of things. So whenever you would find a cool musically video thing that popped off, you could always see what song was playing. Who the artist was. Who the artist was. So when you then clicked on the artist and it showed the original song by Alyssa, it would also give you the option to make a Vine or make another musically with that same song, that same version of that song, not just the same song.
And it would just be like a stream of videos
that are just the exact same name. The original audio by Alyssa.
And it's problematic
Exactly.
because there was nothing flagging it, nothing logging it, and there's no means of reporting that either.
Yeah.
Except, emailing them and just, praying that somebody responds.
Yeah, no, for real. And dude, honestly, there's like it's actually really bad for really small artists because they literally can't do anything. Like I feel like there's the smaller artist you are, the harder it is to get a grasp of that because people are just gonna see that title and people might not even Shazam it. People are just gonna not know what that song is, and it's gonna be nearly impossible to find it unless that song is extremely popular already. It's like
right. Do you
how
feel
the hell are you gonna find it?
Do you feel like it's been hurting though? I mean, like I know it's
For
going
me,
viral.
it's not been. It definitely hasn't been hurting me as much as it's probably hurt some other musicians. But I think that there's ways that I could be taking advantage of it more, and I could be gaining from it more if my
100%.
name was literally on the app.
Yeah.
It was actually credited.
That would be nice. That would be a good thing.
Do you feel like to
Definitely.
circumvent that whole situation, you should make your own TikTok and upload your own songs?
You just went 0 to 100. Like,
I'm just saying, man.
they stole my song. I'm gonna make a whole ass platform. Like,
Just create your own fucking platform, and it's just you cleaning chairs with your fucking music.
Yeah, and it'll say original audio by Zach, and it really will be.
it truly will be.
It truly will be.
Oh my god! I mean, we have technically you could. I mean, nobody's gonna stop you from doing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
And then that way you have at least have control of the upload. But I mean, I feel like if you told your fans to like share your shit on TikTok, if they have it,
There's literally
It
a
could go viral.
guy that literally he messaged me and he was just like, I kind of used your song and made a TikTok and it went viral, and he's like laugh face emoji and he's like and then he's like, what's your TikTok? Like, bruh, first of all, I don't have TikTok. It's like, second of all, credit me, man. Don't why does it say original audio? It's like not
Put
that.
the
And
fucking
I
song
sound
on
so cheesed, like so mad about it, but it's just because it's been happening so much. It's just after a while you're just like, I can't be chill about this.
No, I feel you. It's a
God
million percent.
damn.
Not only, it's not just happening on TikTok. That's just one thing, but it's actually happening on the
Everywhere.
All over,
same
yeah.
platforms that we put our main music on.
Yeah.
So like on Spotify, on Apple Music, you'll literally have like people who upload other people's people's albums, but like pitch it down or like slightly
dude.
alter it. And,
You want to know what happened today?
oh, what happened?
what?
Okay, this is actually probably one of the craziest things that happened to me in terms of stealing music. But dude, literally, I checked my Spotify for artists,
Right.
which is an app so you can see your stats, and I saw my song. I have a song called No More, and I went to check to see the stats. It was gone. The song wasn't even on my statistics
What
thing.
the
It was gone. So I was like, what's going on here? So I go on to the profile section and I see it's featured on my profile. So I click it and it says 0 streams. And I'm like, 0? What? This doesn't have 0. This has like 3 million streams.
Hold
so like
on.
I click the more information and I see a different album art when I click it. It says there's no stats. Wait a day to see your streams. And I was like, what the hell? So this guy messages me after. So today I check and I see this guy's like, this song showed up in my Discover Weekly, and it's literally your song, but it has it's released by a different artist. So I checked it out, and dude, my streams literally transferred onto this guy's account.
What?
Like,
Wow.
from that song literally said 3 million something, and it was on this dude's account. So I was like, what the? And I was on the bus too. So I was like, what am I gonna freaking do? Like, I just opened up Safari and I looked up like procedure to claim copyright, and I did this form for Spotify, and then I sent a message to Spotify for artists, and hopefully it's gonna get sorted. But the fact that it even happened is just like, man, what the hell?
How can they allow that to happen? Like, it's already attached to
There's
you.
clearly a problem. Like, there's too much room for stuff like that to happen because of their method. Like,
Because I remember even like
thing,
I think I was looking at your account, Najee, but there was like another Najee whose like music was on your account.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Was like, yeah, but I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I just don't understand
It's
how they can't
because
differentiate that.
there's a lot of reliance on tech with these new tech companies, which would make sense, but because of that, they've placed a lot of automation in there in lieu of an actual person. I mean, granted,
Which makes sense.
They have,
I mean,
just to make the process easier. Totally get that. But the problem is that when you need an actual person to respond, every second somebody is waiting to get a response is another second that they're losing revenue. Because say, for example, your song, 3 million streams plus, and you don't get a response for a week, and your song is popping off right now. In order to get the lost revenue back from that other person, hound them down, potentially sue them, and the fees that would be incurred just from that whole process is costing. The costs are astronomical. It's literally directly harming artists' ability to actually gain income, or like not just to gain income, but it's affecting their income.
I mean, like, would that actually happen though? Like, because the song transferred over, so now in his account he has the no more with 3 million listens. The
so
money's not transferring over to him,
it is though.
Honestly, I think that it's because I released with a distributor, right? And the distributor has all the information, like the ISRC code, to release it with. And the thing is that I think that I don't know how he could have gotten that, but I feel like that's the only way he could have done that. But the things that my song was still on Spotify, and it still had the same amount of streams. It's just that there was the song was also uploaded on this other guy's Spotify, and it had the same amount of streams, and it had a different artwork. But it was
That's crazy.
It's literally this. It must have been the same song, like the same code. So it's like I don't think he's getting the money because I released it with DistroKid,
right,
and they collect all the money from Spotify.
Correct.
So I don't think that the money is going to go to him, but still, if there's a representation, there's like the fact that it's on his profile, it's at the top of his feed. Like all of his songs have like 1,000 plays, less than 1,000 plays, and then you just see this one that's like 3 million. So it's just like.
But even so, even if it is uploaded through DistroKid, the risk is that if he did, for example, have your ISRC and he uploaded that through another distribution service, then both of them technically would be collecting on it, which is problematic. Because, for example, if somebody releases an album, then they, that album's officially released through their distribution. But say that album or a song off that album gets picked up by a movie. Okay, now cool, that song's on that movie's compilation album, but that's through a different distributor, and it's still the same version of the song. So then they use the same ISRC because you can only use the same ISRC for the same version of a track, right? If it's remastered, if it's altered, then you need a new ISRC. That's just the common practice in this realm. If that's the case, if he literally just copied your ISRC and moved it to another distributor, then he's literally directly stealing revenue.
Both distributors,
that's terrifying.
Which is why it's like
that's so problematic. And YouTube had that issue as well, where they were people were falsely flagging songs that other people own. There was somebody who copyrighted literal hums, like the 60 hertz hum from like a power line, and they copyrighted that, so like a random upload from them, because somebody else had a song or had a hum in one of their videos which had nothing to do with music at all. It was the monetization went from that video over to the original, quote unquote original owner, who copyrighted 60 hertz hum sounds and basically disabled them from gaining any monetization from their own content.
That's insane.
Oh my God, dude.
And that's really problematic.
Huge problem.
That's incredibly problematic. And so what's the solution there? It's like, yes, we reach out and we try and shame these big companies for like not paying attention or not being on it quick enough. If you look on Twitter, you can see people are like, yo, we're pissed, fix this. But the problem is that they're just not listening quick enough, or if they are listening, they're not implementing fast enough. Like they're not making it enough of a priority.
But it's a hard thing to implement, because like when you're
it is, but at the same time, if your source of income is telling you we need this thing fixed because we need our income, they could literally just pull. You're literally taking your number one source of income. The company, for example, is taking their number one source of income, the artists, and shoving their priorities to the side, which is not a good look for any business. Like, if you want to keep our business, keep us happy. Like, it's just kind of common sense.
Yeah, it's hard to comment because it's like there's so much that goes into those help centers and like support centers for all these, and like there's it's like almost seems like it's impossible to accommodate all of these artists, even though that is what they're promised, right? Like that's the like it's like they need more staff. It's like you need more real people. You need more real people to be like to look at that, like not a computer to look at this information and be like beep bleep bloop, I see nothing wrong. And they need like a person to be like, yo, someone's messed up. Like,
yo, remember that artist Versace I was telling you about? Somebody just uploaded his track.
Yeah,
like what the fuck? And
this shit's like fucked up. Delete this dude's account.
A whole department's like, oh snap! Oh,
damn.
That's the like idea. A guy in the back. He's like again. He's like, yeah, we gotta do this shit now, man. Like, we need people. It's like it's a joke, but like on the real, like we do need like. You need that.
It's really weird to me because I feel like in certain areas, like the rules need to be looser, and then in other areas it needs to be like way like more microscopic. I guess you know what I mean. I don't know.
Give us an example.
I mean, because when you were talking about the hum, like that's just some bullshit.
That is some.
That's some bullshit. That's like you uploaded a fucking hum, like that's nothing. Like it's not musical. It's just a thing. So the fact that it's in somebody else's like that's just. I don't know. That shit doesn't make any sense to me.
You're talking and he's just like, did you just hit 60 hertz? He's like, and then he's like in the middle of a conversation, and the guy's like, what did you say? He's like, you just stole from me.
Shut this podcast down. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'm suing you.
30 cents.
Like, I detected 60 hertz noise at this timestamp, this timestamp, this timestamp.
He's like writing in a notebook.
He sues you. He's like, one of your harmonics in your voice hit 60 hertz consistently for 7 minutes.
Where's my check? You know?
Oh, but it's like that's ridiculous.
That is crazy.
I've never heard of that ever. That's crazy.
You know, I wonder what the solution will be, though. I mean, obviously, yes, more people, but like for situations like how do we define
it has
what can
to be solved?
Yeah, what can be copyrighted? Like if we can really start copywriting 60 hertz sounds.
See, that's the type of like I feel like you shouldn't be able to copyright. Shouldn't be able to copyright. No, you shouldn't be able to copyright some like dumb bullshit. Like I feel like there needs to be a rule. It has to be like creative content. Like
See,
real.
That's so subjective though.
It is subjective, but I feel like
I feel like the hum was copyrighted in like it couldn't have been recent. It had to be like way in the past.
Yeah, it was definitely way in the past. It was like an upload from like 2012 or something like that. Yeah, but they're just catching
that's still
the check
close.
from it.
That's not even that long ago. That's still ridiculous.
It's
like I was thinking like 60s or something. Like,
yes, the internet
you
of
would
the
think,
60s.
Like, if we had the foresight, if they had the foresight back then to say, you know what, I don't know why it is, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we should. There's gonna be this entity thing. It's called YouTube. That's what it is in my head. Bear with me.
It's like Bandersnatch,
you know. But we should just protect it. We just gotta put some shit in the Library of Congress. Yeah. Just hear me out. It's gonna be a 60 hertz. The plugs. We gotta protect that. I don't know why.
I got it though. I got it. I mean, like, what if in order for it to be considered a creative piece of content, it has to have more than like a certain amount of elements. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And by elements, I mean like somebody could play a recorder, and as long as it has like more than like 3 notes.
But see, at the same time, that wouldn't, like, for example, what about like sounds albums, like rain sounds? Like if that's literally only on for.
What about our fart sounds?
Our farts? Anything.
But see, that has more than one element though.
Rain? I mean, it's just noise.
It has more than one element.
It's literally just noise. I mean, it's variations in noise, but it's essentially just noise. But you can still copyright that.
That's some
Yeah.
bullshit.
And like
we need people, man.
Even when
'cause
I
that's
was,
some bullshit.
yeah, we do need people. That's the thing. We need people. we don't need Wally. You know, it's like, that's who we don't need.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
Fucking Eve.
I feel like he's at the top of the queue.
Yeah.
for anybody who's listening, let us know. What do you think? How do we solve this? What are your thoughts on the whole just situation at hand? What kind of creative solutions would you come up with?
Help us.
Help us out.
Figure it
Help us
out.
figure this out. But other than that, what was the other topic that we wanted to talk about? So we were talking about. So you live in Canada. You are in Toronto, Ontario, right? Yeah.
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 Correct.
Toronto.
So we have recently discovered through a good friend of ours, Jimmy V, who was also on the podcast last year.
Yes.
Season 1. Go check that out.
Jimmy from the Six.
Jimmy from the Six. He put us onto the concept of Canadian grants that are readily available for
yes.
for artists, creators in general. Have you utilized any of those or seen any of those or tried?
I haven't. I actually haven't done that yet, but I know a lot of people that actually definitely indulge in that, and it's a great resource that Canada offers because like they're always looking to support Canadian talent because you know you gotta. I think that they actually have a rule that 20% of all content on radio has to be Canadian. That percentage could be the percentage could be a little bit off, but I heard it was something like that, and they definitely have to keep that up. So they try to support with grants, and the only thing is that you have to fill out a lot of forms, and it can be tedious. But I'm sure the people that take the time to fill those out, like the fact that they even want to do that shows that they're probably willing. They're probably like it makes sense for them to get a grant. But
I mean, like I feel like those forms wouldn't be that bad once you get cut like a $10,000 check or $20,000, and they're just like, hey, go do your artwork now. Like, like we gave you just $20K, just go do your art. That doesn't happen in the States.
I mean, yes, there are grants available for film specifically.
For films, for sure.
Like especially in Georgia, like there's a huge film industry in Georgia.
Yeah.
But like
Savannah is like one of the biggest film
in general
locations.
Like, period. Yeah. Just but also there's a huge film industry in Toronto too. That's why you have a lot of and incentives for that.
TIFF. We got TIFF.
TIFF. Yeah. What is TIFF? What is TIFF? Is it specifically just for film, or is it for?
It's Toronto International Film Festival. Film Festival. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean,
I haven't gone. I literally went. I think I went one time forever ago, but I need to go back because I've totally slept on that. Like it's a thing that happens every year, so I'm gonna do that this year.
I mean, we were there when it was happening once. And I feel like, we were there. Huh. I remember seeing TIFF like everywhere. It was just advertised.
Do you think that
everywhere.
the people like any of the of the people in the TIFF festival, or I guess TIFF, what do you think the percentage of artists or creators in there would be utilizing one of the grants? Like, is it so?
Man. I feel like if Toronto's doing it for musical artists like that, they're definitely doing it for film, like more so. I
think it's just creative things in general, or it must be arts. The arts.
Yeah, the arts. I'd say probably 70%, man. I'm not living in the States and I'm saying that, I feel like 70% of those filmmakers are utilizing grants.
But my question is why don't more artists know about it, like right off the bat? Like, I mean, you know about it, Zach, but is it because it's like harder to kind of like apply for it, or like what is prevented you from being like instantly like, oh, it's just common sense, I'll apply for this, get the funding for this?
Well, I mean, the thing is that I haven't really needed anything that needed funding. Like that was the main thing that I haven't really needed, I guess, because I'm living with my parents, right? So like there's that, and I haven't made any music videos, and I hadn't planned to in the past, and so like I didn't really think about it. And also I found out about the grants just a year ago. Like someone had to tell me. Like I went to a meeting with this management team, and they actually mentioned it, and I was just like, what? Like this? I had no idea.
Come again?
Pause. You said what? But
free mummies? What?
But yeah, no, it's something I'm 100% looking into now
Yeah.
because it's like, why not? I could use it because
Yeah.
I want to up my production quality, and like there's so many things that I could use it for for my music, right?
Did they say, like, I don't, the management group, you don't have to name them, but like, did they say that there were any like requirements from you?
I think
like you have to have a certain amount of listens or followers or something like that.
You definitely have to have some like a credibility, the credibility to, like, you just have to have to make sense.
Right.
I think that I know that there's people that have no like recognition online that are just Canadian artists that want to do music, and I think that I know that there's those people who have definitely gotten grants before it though. So it's I haven't applied for it. I can't really comment on what the requirements are, but I know that I actually have a friend that's in the music industry that actually applied for it. He got a grant, I'm pretty sure. So it's definitely it's a common thing that keeps going down, and it's worth it.
Yeah,
I would think so. I mean,
because we know that
money.
Drake uses that.
Drake, Daniel Caesar,
I'm
a
sure.
bunch of people use it.
Like for touring, it definitely is a huge
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Wait. So like, what are the typical? I guess. I wonder what the typical amounts would be for like what the max would be. Like, how many times do you think artists can like utilize something like that? Because like
within a year, well, it's probably just dependent on the grant. Because like you're probably getting multiple grants at a time for a specific project because you're utilizing different resources.
I mean, we can only speculate.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
actually,
we should look it up. You know, why not?
I feel like I want to know that because it's just like I feel like the amounts definitely vary. But since Drake uses it and Daniel Caesar, it's like those definitely, I can imagine it goes up there.
Yeah, I guess so. So for anybody who is curious, if you want to take advantage of some of the Canadian grants available, some of the companies that we've seen or heard of would be, so I guess TIFF, Factor, Ontario Arts Council, Toronto Arts Council, who else?
Prism. Outreach.
Who else is there? Do we have anybody else?
I only know a Factor. You guys know more than me. You're not even from Canada.
You know.
Oh man.
Damn.
Hey,
But TIFF wouldn't be one of them though.
Oh, what would that?
Because that's just a film festival.
Oh, right. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
So that's just not.
word.
That's
Okay.
not it, yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
if you guys ever are curious about, finding out about more of these grants and taking advantage of them, they are readily available. So
Yeah.
we'll try and leave some links in the description for, if anybody's listening on YouTube, for you to find it, find more information about these things, because these seems like really important and incredibly beneficial resources for
So
independent artists.
Oh yeah.
You can actually apply an unlimited amount of time because it resets every year.
That's dope. So we just found that from our
Damn.
official source, Jimmy V, our official
Jimmy
Toronto
V.
source, Jimmy V. Shout out to Jimmy V.
Jimmy. Our official Toronto source. I love it.
But
Not you, Zach. Not you.
Not you.
Yeah,
at
you
all.
know what? Soon I will be credible. Just hang in there.
But I think that's all for this episode. Just wanted to cover, just review, just to kind of summarize. So we were talking about, content ID, metadata, and how it really directly affects artists and what we can do about it. Just kind of our opinions on it.
Yes.
And, grants
in Canada.
and grants in Canada. Like, we're so
Grants.
close and we can't touch them because we're
I
not
feel
Canadian.
like, oh man, it's like a cookie in a cookie jar.
It really
It really
is,
is.
for
We're-
us at
we're
least.
way too close.
I wish grants were more available here, but if you're in Canada, go get that shit. Like,
Yeah, if you're
for
listening
sure.
to this podcast
Get
and
that
you get a
cookie.
grant,
please.
send us some
Money.
money.
If you get a grant, send us some cookies.
If you
Yes.
listen to this episode and you live in Canada and you get a grant, just remember us
And send
Remember
us
us
cookies.
in the U.S.
Remember us, the U.S. Us.
Oh
Us.
Oh man.
Well, Zach,
That's
thank you
super-
again
my
for
pride.
joining us for this episode. It has been a pleasure just chatting with
Yo,
you.
thank
getting your
you for
insight on
having
it.
me.
Yeah, no, it's
You guys
been
are great.
It's always a pleasure.
super fun. So, Louise, what can we find or expect next episode?
Shit, man.
Yeah,
I'm not fucking
Got
ready
him.
for this.
Oh,
Shit.
damn. Yo, he's good at that.
All right, so next episode, we're going to be talking about your cat's eating habits and how to get him to stop meowing.
Meow. Nope. Meow.
That is
Nope.
the T.
Meow. Nope.
Oh, I just heard a meow.
There you go.
You just got to nah him every time. Nah.
But if you guys have any other burning questions, advice, or you just want to comment on what we just talked about today, leave a comment below. And if you're on YouTube, but if you're not on YouTube, any of the other streaming services for podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, etc.,
Shoot us a message.
Shoot us a message at 1000story_ on Twitter or Instagram, or go to the site 1000story.co/podcast and leave us something there.
Where can we find you, Zach?
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at Versace Main, VerzacheMane. Sorry, I did it again. I didn't get the Z. Anyways, I'm Canadian. Okay, I say Z sometimes.
Did he say
fine.
Canadian A?
Canadian.
No, I said okay.
Okay, my bad.
I'll if I stay here. If you stay in Canada too long, you develop the A though.
You do develop the A.
I did it. I was there for like a week.
Sorry.
And I feel like,
Sorry.
Sorry, Ollie.
You just went British.
Sorry.
What's the difference?
Sorry.
What's the difference? Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
gosh.
I'm playing.
Anyhow,
All right,
this has
and
been-
your Twitter though.
Oh yeah, and my Twitter is at VERZACHE. I always nail the Twitter one.
Perfect.
Well, thank you, bro. It's been
Yeah,
a pleasure.
man. Such a
Thank you all
pleasure.
for listening,
Yes.
and we shall see you next
Oh, wait.
episode.
You can find me at El Pontillo,
Oh, yeah.
ELPONTILLO on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find myself, Mr. Nashi Boy, at MRNAJIBOY on Twitter and Instagram. This has been the 1000 Story Podcast, and we will see you next time, ladies, gents,
Peace and love.
others. Peace, love, and here grease.
Bye.
Ciao
Bye.
for now.